Hi, I'm Steve Schul, the mayor of Durham. It was 29 days ago, on March the 11th, that doctors identified the first coronavirus infection in Durham. I'm coming to you today, day 29, to tell you honestly about the situation in front of us, the hardships we face, the successes we've experienced, and what lies ahead. As a community, we are in pain. Thousands of our neighbors right here in Durham have lost their jobs and are trying desperately to live without a paycheck. Businesses have temporarily closed their doors, and some may never be able to reopen. Help is coming from the state and federal governments, but it isn't here yet, and the burden of COVID-19 is not equally shared. Both the health and economic consequences are falling most heavily on communities of color and immigrants. And even for those of us privileged to be able to stay at home in comfort, the isolation is very hard, and we are filled with anxiety for ourselves, for our families, for our elders, and for our friends. As of yesterday, 208 people had contracted COVID-19 in Durham, 17 more than the day before, and we lost our very first life to the virus. All of this is shocking and sudden and scary, and our hearts go out to everyone who is suffering. But as hard as this is, we are not helpless in the face of this virus. Because of your actions, there is plenty of hope and plenty of good news to share. On March the 13th, I declared a state of emergency for the city of Durham, closing theaters and recreation centers and gathering places. On March 26th, I issued a stay-at-home order for the city, followed by orders from the county and the governor. These were really hard decisions, and I want to tell you that I make them with a sense of humility, knowing how significantly they affect people's lives and knowing that not all of these decisions will be the right ones. But here's what's awesome. Durham has taken up the challenge of the stay-at-home order, and your actions are saving lives. Travel in Durham is down more than 40%. Projections from Duke Health Systems show that your response to the stay-at-home order is already beginning to flatten the curve of the virus. Last week, new cases of the virus grew at a rate of 8% per day, lower than any other city in the state, and down from a 12% daily growth rate from the week before. We can now expect the virus to peak in Durham between April 24th and May 2nd, if we can keep our rate of infection low. After the peak, there will still be infections and plenty of them, but we should then see infection rates get even lower. All this is because of you, because you have chosen to stay home, because as a business owner, your employees are now working from home, because you have socially distanced yourselves from others if you're going to work, if you are out walking, or if you're at the grocery store. At our current rate of infection, Durham can expect 1,600 total cases by May the 9th, 2 months out from our first case, a much lower projection than we had 1 week ago because you are taking action. Our current infection rates put Durham in far better shape than North Carolina as a whole and put us on a par with South Korea, the country that has done the best in containing the virus. We must maintain this curve. We must stay home and socially distance and wash our hands. We must wear face masks, especially homemade ones like mine, when we're going to the grocery store or anywhere else where it's hard to socially distance. During the next week, I will send out to our community a longer written report about the work that so many good people are doing to contain the virus and mitigate its effects. I will tell you then about our work to protect our vulnerable homeless residents, about the Herculean efforts underway to feed our school kids and how you can help, about mental health resources to help people who are isolated, about the beginning of our efforts to get stimulus checks into the hands of Durham residents and to support our small businesses through this crisis. I am speaking to you today, day 29, on the eve of Passover, and just a few days from Easter. We know we can't be together in our places of worship on these days like we usually are, but we can participate in virtual services and share our spiritual strength that way. I'm looking forward to a Zoom Passover Seder with my family spread out all across the country. So make the best of this era of social distancing. Attend a virtual sunrise service on Easter. Go grocery shopping for your elderly neighbor. Get out and walk, run, or bike in this gorgeous spring weather and shout out to your friends from 6 feet away. Learn to play Stairway to Heaven on your harmonica. Most of all, love your family like never before. Friends, this is in our hands. Together, we can slow the spread of the virus. We can save lives, many of them. We can create a path to get people back to work again. Each of us can act, so all of us are safe.